Okay then, what's new this week? Well, today is Monday and the weekend was really cool. I went back home again, obviously, and it was super lovely, obviously, to spend time at home with Frank and Lou and Alexa. Hello. Back at home again, poached eggs, cup of tea. Ooh, mate, love it. Good news is, got some good news. The landlady has approved the bathtub because we need a bathtub basically because I can't get in the shower. Which is cool because basically if the landlady said no, I'd rather not fork out for a bathtub or, have you do that. Then we'd be like kind of looking at somewhere else to live. Maybe, I don't know. Sponge baths in bed, eh, Lou? Who knows, man? I don't know. But luckily, that is not something we won't have to look for anywhere else to live. We can stay in our wonderful home. On that note, our wonderful home, we've invited some people over on Saturday night next weekend. We're going to have a little dinner party. Not just any dinner party, but we're going to try and recreate the dinner party that I missed the day of my accident. So, as some of you know, I had a dinner party planned that night, and with the guy who I was snowboarding with, Pete Davies, guy who saved my life. If you see that guy, give him a hug, buy him a beer. He was going to come over, Kyle and Leanne were going to come over, and Jake and Grace were going to come over. Jake and Grace can't make it because they're in the UK. So Katie and Joe are coming over instead, and we're going to have a wicked little dinner party. It's going to be awesome. I really, really can't wait. So I'm going to cook Thai green curry, the meal that I was going to cook that night, and it's going to be good. It's going to be really cool. So that's nice, like being at the gaff is like my sort of comfort zone. So we had a little adventure. Let's say adventure. We had an opportunity. We had an opportunity to learn the limitations of this chair, which are, surprisingly enough, snow. Yeah, so we went down the Duresh, which is, for those of you who don't know, a little park in Morzine, like a little wooded area. And it was really nice. I was with Joe and Katie. We had about 18 dogs with us, like just running around, and it was super cool. Like, it was really fun. Like all the challenging bits. We went like, first of all, we started on a path, and then the challenging bits, I was like wheeling over, like whoa, 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 little icy bits, like, and I was absolutely nailing it. I was like, kind of really enjoying it, because I basically had to wheelie most of the way because the little wheels at the front are a bit naff, so they get caught in like little holes. And so anyway, wheeling along through the Duresh, having a great time, and then it got really like soft and slushy, and it just like the wheels just weren't going. And then obviously where it was slushy, ice and snow came up on the handles, and then it was cold anyway. I didn't have any gloves, and the handles were wet and cold, and in the end I just couldn't do it, and I just said, Lou, I'm really sorry, but you have to push me. Right, so here we are in the Duresh. As you can see, I'm out in nature trying to enjoy it. It's really nice. I was doing some really good wheelie skills, like wheeling over all the gnarly bits, and then it just got a bit too gnarly. Like, as you can see, like the wheels are not really designed for this sort of terrain, and so basically I've been having to get pushed quite a lot. So she soldiered on, pushing me through because she had to wheelie me as well. So my front wheels were up, so wheeling through this snow for ages, and then I kind of felt a bit helpless. Like, I don't really like being pushed in the chair because I don't know what it is. Like, I want to be independent. Like, losing my independence, or certain levels of independence, is probably one of the hardest things about being in the chair and being in this position. I really, really hate it. But anyway, I managed to, not get in too much of it. But I did have a little slump in my mood because I was just like, but then I realised, we're out in nature and we should enjoy it. Lou helped me remember that. She was like, stop being such a grumpy cunt. I'm pushing you through the fucking snow here. You can at least enjoy it. And I was like, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. So yeah, it was good. It was really fun. But yeah, like I say, we learned the limitations of the chair. What else happened? Another thing about losing my independence. Something else happened this weekend, which was our car broke down. Unfortunately, well, luckily in the car park outside our house. Lou went outside. The battery was dead. The doors wouldn't open. We managed to get in. We called our mate Joe, who is like a super handy guy to know, and also a super nice guy. And he come over to our rescue, and sort of that's the other thing. Like, so our car is parked sort of in this car park, and there's like a bush like right in front. So I couldn't even, if I wanted to, wheel round and have a look. Like I can't wheel through a bush, you know. And it's just things like without legs that it's just a bit frustrating. Like Joe's a handyman to know he done a way better job than I would have done anyway. But regardless, I couldn't even like go over and like look over his shoulder and be like, yeah mate, yeah, I think the same thing. Because the car park's on such a crazy like gradient, I was super scared. Like so this chair is at a weird angle, so when you're like wheeling, you're absolutely fine. But when you're like facing down a hill, it's like you're leaning forward and it's really scary. So I was just like pretty scared in the car park, like because that's sort of a little bit out of my comfort zone. And yeah, in the end we couldn't fix it, so it's going to go in the garage this week. And Joe ended up giving me a lift back to the centre, back to here, which was super nice of him. Thank you, Joe. This morning I managed to work out a really cool routine. I kind of did it really generically. I kind of just sort of, you know, randomly sort of started laying on the bed and I was listening to music and I was just like doing sit-ups, and I ended up doing my very first sit-up. Like, I'll show you, like there's a little video of me doing it. And I'm up, and I'm up. Yes. Oi, here we go. It's not exactly, yeah, I'm cheating a little bit. But anyway, so that was a real win for me, like a real win. And then after that, I started doing some yoga, and I put the wheelchair in front of me, like as I was sat on the bed, so I could use it with the brakes on to like hold me if I was leaning forward. And I was doing sit-ups and just all sorts, like twists, and it was really good. I had a really, really good routine, like really good. And then I moved the wheelchair, flipped onto my belly, slid across the bed, and then did press-ups on the floor, which was really good actually. Like, and I was listening to like the music changed, and it was to like Tenacious D and like Rage Against the Machine, and I was just like, come on, just smashing it out. So that was really awesome. So I feel like I've had a really good workout, did a really good meditation, like loads of things to be grateful for. So that was awesome. And then my lunch came in and it was well good, so I requested to go full vegetarian because the amount of meat, I don't mind a bit of chicken or a bit of fish, but they were just smashing like loads of red meat at me and pork, and I just was not really into that. So I just said fuck it, let's just go veggie, and they brought me in such a nice meal today. It was chickpeas with mashed potato, and then some sort of, I would say, like a ratatouille. Oh, it was fucking yummy. Oh, was it yummy? Oh, mate, absolutely loved it. Ate the whole thing. I never finish my meals, but like, oh, it was super yummy. So I'm really excited about being vegetarian, like almost like officially vegetarian now, because they supply all my food. So yeah, maybe I'm a vegetarian now. I don't mind that. I think that's cool. In other news, that little project I talked about 10 episodes ago is really coming along nicely, I think. It's kind of weird to talk because I don't want to say what it is. But anyway, it might be happening soon. Hopefully. Woohoo! Okay, cool. So, apart from that, I think we're all up to date. I think I've waffled on long enough. You know, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. See you all next week. So another thing I really want to quickly add is one of the nurses is called Teddy, and he's quite funny. He's actually lives with Saverin, which is my physio. Anyway, he comes in and he's just like, knock knock. He's like, hey, you have time for Mario Kart? I was like, yeah mate, of course I do, come on in. We like smashed out 4 races of Mario Kart, beat him, and then he was like, okay, I have to go. I get my revenge next week. I was like, alright, sweet, see you later. And Saverin comes in and he's like, hey man, heard you playing Mario Kart with Teddy. I was like, yeah mate, come on in. Smashed a few games of Mario Kart out with Saverin. He ended up beating me, very close, but he's pretty good. Yeah, it was really fun. So Mario Kart with the crew.